Okay, so good morning. This video is gonna be about how to download, install, and then properly run a VPN that's called Surfshark VPN. And there's two parts to this videos. The first part is about how to just basically download, install, and run just like that. And the second part would be a few advanced options that you may need down the road. So feel free to watch the second part as well if you want to, but the first part will give you the basics of how to download it, how to install it, and then how to run it in a few minutes. So let's begin. First is the downloading part. That would be two ways. One way to download Surfshark VPN is through the store. If you're on a Windows, on the Microsoft Store. If you're on a Mac, you can do it from the Apple Store. It doesn't really matter. Both are the same. The downloading method is the same. Everything's pretty much the same thing. So when you get into the store, you can just search for, let's say, Surfshark and see it just. I did have a search, so it comes up automatically over here. But you can just search for Surfshark, and this is what will pop up on the top. And this is what you're looking for: the S logo with the teal, whatever shape it is, and that says Surfshark VPN. You can install it through here. Or the second way would be to download it from the website itself on the browser. Go to open up the browser, whatever browser you're using, Chrome, Edge, Firefox, doesn't matter. Just go to surfshark.com and then you will see this thing here that says download. Hit on downloads. And when you come down, you can just hit get Surfshark. It will automatically find the right one for you and download it for you. But if you want to be more specific, you can just download it for your Windows, for your Mac, Linux, Android, iOS. You can even have a Chrome or Firefox or Edge extension, in fact. If you just want to use it for only the browser and not for your whole computer, you can download a Chrome extension. That way you can use the Surfshark. The Surfshark will probably work only on the browser and not for the whole computer if you want something like that. So let's do the download. Sorry, don't hit get. It takes you to a hit this Windows. Just takes download Surfshark here for Windows. VPN for Windows. Or if you have a Mac, just do the same thing for Mac and download VPN app for Windows. This should take you to a download page. Just hit save and wait for the download to finish. So let the download finish and we'll come back. So the download is almost over. But just before I install it, I just want to go over the whole thing again. You can either download the Surfshark from your Microsoft Store or your App Store, or go to the website, hit downloads, and don't hit this. Don't go to Get Surfshark. Just scroll down a little bit more and find what you need over here, and just install any one of them. Just if you want Windows, I'm on a Windows, so I hate Windows, and then you'll have the download option over here. So that's one. So download's done. Let's go ahead and start installing it. You hit it once. It should open up something like this. On a Mac, it might be different, but the basics are the same. So it will extract the file, and then all you have to do is just follow the instructions. There's no rocket science here. So here it is. Just hit install. That's it. This should take care of everything else. Sometimes they might ask you for a restart of your computer once you finish installing it. Sometimes they don't. It depends on your version of your computer. But it takes a little time to finish the installations and all. So I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so the installation is done. There was nothing there. I just hit install and it it like finished automatically. Even the Surfshark VPN app opened up on its own. I didn't even have to open it. You can just add. don't like this to be here. Let's just close this one here. Okay, so this is it. If you don't want to open this, you can always it will stay in your tabs here. You see somewhere the Surfshark is here. So if you want to really close it, you'll have to come here and just hit quit Surfshark, or it doesn't close. That's one part here. If you once you finish the installation, you'll find it in your apps here, or as in a Mac, you'll find it in your app section. Same thing. I like to just go ahead and search for it and open it up. When you open it for the first time, it might take a few seconds, but this is what you're gonna see, basically. You just hit login. You should have the email ID and password ready with you. I have it here. And, and hit login. So this is what you're going to see for the first time. There will be a quick connect. If you don't really have any specific requirement of a specific country, um, Surfshark will find the fastest connection for you and just ask you to connect to that. But let's say you do have a specific requirement and you want to connect to a different country, you can just scroll down through here, or you can search the location as United States. Let's first say, for example, you want to search, connect to United States. If you have a specific, let's say you have a specific city that you want to connect to, you have that option as well. There are a lot of connections here. You can go with either any one of them. It doesn't really matter. So that's one way. Let's say I want to connect to New York, for example. So the moment you hit on New York, it connects automatically and it gives you all the information that you need. It's been connected for 8 seconds. This is your IP that will show up wherever you log in. This is your speed. Right now, this is what I'm getting. If you want a better speed, you'll have to find some other state. Or the other way to do it is like instead of searching here, I don't know if it's getting a little too complicated for you. You can just scroll down, find United States, and you see it says fastest. So this, if, instead of doing a search, if you just scroll down through the countries and hit United States, and you don't have a specific requirement for a state, then you can just hit United States, and it will find the fastest state for you on its own. So that's it. Now you're connected to United States, but it seems like that's the fastest um, VPN available at the moment. So this is one. So you can, that's two ways of connected. If you can do a specific search for a specific state like Dallas, Houston, Miami, Los Angeles, Denver, wherever you want it to be specific. And if it's not specific, just hit whatever fastest it can give you. So that's one. Like the New York that I connected was like 2 Mbps was the connecting speed. This has a little bit higher speed. So that's why this is what they chose for me on their own. I did not have to do anything. So that's it. And you're done. So this is the basic part of Surfshark VPN. And when you want to disconnect, when you're done with your work, just hit disconnect. It should be done. That's it. You're back to your regular IP. Just hit disconnect and close it. This is something that you want to know. Um, it will not, once you connect it, it's not going to go away. It's disconnected, but it's still somehow like it protects your browser from unwanted stuff. So it's always going to stay here. You can like quit it from here, and if you hit quit, this should go away. But just wanted to make sure you understand that Surfshark, once you open Surfshark, it'll stay here until you manually go in there and quit it. It will not be connected, but it will still be there. So let's go back to Surfshark now. You know the basics. I'm going to show you some more advanced features that you might need and some settings that I think you should do to get a better performance out of it. And let's go back in there. Like whenever you open Surfshark, um, I don't need this, so close this. So this is what you're gonna see every time you open Surfshark, no matter what. So if you had some connections, your recent connections will show up here. So one time you do a search, you don't have to go and keep on searching for United States over and over again. You can just have them in your recent connections here. So let's say so you know how to connect, but before connecting, let's go into the settings and I'll show you a few things that you can do to make the performance better. The first settings, you hit settings, you'll see this VPN settings, app settings. You don't need to go into my account. That's not needed. It's a waste. One time you log in, that's it. Go into VPN settings first. And if you want this app to launch on every time you turn on your Windows, then keep this on. But I prefer to keep it off. I don't want it. Auto connect, I don't want that as well. I want to do it manually whenever I need it. So that's one thing. If you want a clean web while you're on VPN, a clean web basically means it will block all the ads, trackers, and stuff. I don't need it, so I keep it off. You can turn it on if you want to. It doesn't really matter. That's one thing. And then the next thing is the kill switch. Keep it off. Protocol automatic is best. Bypass. This is like if you're using VPN for your whole computer and there is one specific website that you don't want the VPN to go through, like let's say some website that only works in your country and it does not work in other countries, you can just bypass that website here. Hit the bypass VPN and you can put in that add a website or an IP address. Like if you don't want YouTube, or let's say you don't want Google.com to go through VPN, you want it to stay in your country. Let's say you're running a VPN in the United States, or you're running a UK, United Kingdom VPN, and you want Google to stay in USA. So you can have both. Just hit add, and that particular website. Let's say I'll just give you an example. Let's say YouTube.com. You don't want YouTube to go through VPN. You want it to go outside VPN. So now see, I hit add, and this whenever I run YouTube, it's not going to go through the VPN. VPN will be running, but it will not go through VPN. It will go through normal channels. So that's one thing you can do. I don't need it basically, so I keep it off. If you want, you can use it. Same thing goes with the apps. For the apps, you can have some apps to go specifically through VPN and some to bypass the VPN. If you want any app, just select whatever apps, like apps that don't use the internet. You can always add those apps here, like whatever apps you have. For choosing those apps, you can just go into like let's say my computer and search that particular app. You can find all your apps in your program files and whatever app you don't want, like your WinZip, it doesn't use the internet, so you could like save that from using VPN and simply waste of VPN. So you can do that if you want. These are all advanced options. You don't need to go through them. Okay. And the last thing here is no borders. This one you need to keep on. I mean, it's better to keep on. It doesn't matter if you turn it off, but when you turn it on, it gives you a few extra countries, a few extra options. So if you need it, you can keep it on. If you don't need, you can turn it off. But I keep it on because I just feel that keeping this on gives me a better internet speed, better usage. Like VPN works much smoother if I keep it on. So I keep it on. You can turn it on. Um, then comes the rotating IP. So I'll show you what happens when I hit this. Let's say now this is off. So what's the difference here? When this is off and I connect to something, and let's say I connect it to United States band, and you see I get a VPN address IP, and this is going to stay at this IP for as long as I use the VPN. It's not going to change. So no matter how long you use the VPN, this will stay like 66.235, and that's a this is a static IP that you get. You don't, this doesn't change. But let's say you want to use a VPN that keeps on changing the IP every 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. How do you do that? That's when you go into settings, you go into VPN, and you can hit rotating IP. So when you have this turned on, what happens is I will show you. Let's go back, and let's go back to saying USA, United States, and I'll show you the difference. So see this, yeah, I got this, and let's see what it says now. In the next 2 minutes, this IP is going to change. So every 2 minutes, it's not exactly 2 minutes, it's a random 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Every few minutes, this IP keeps changing. So if you want something like that, you can use, see, the IP just is about to change in the next 1 minute. So if you want something that requires a change in IP every few minutes, you can turn on that particular option. Just remember this. This is 213, right? I'll show you when it changes. When you want something like that, when you want it to automatically keep changing, just turn this on, and that's what will happen. And I will show you live how this changes. It should take about any minute now. It should automatically change and give me a new IP. So if that's something you need, you can do that. So yeah, these are the basic, I mean, these are the advanced functions. The first part you saw the basics. This is the second part of advanced options that you can do. And that's, see, it just changed. That's it. That's what I was talking about. So if you have that on, it will keep changing. And if you turn it off, it will not change. So that's up to you how you need it. The invisible LAN thing, I don't really care about this. This will make your computer invisible to whoever else is on your network. I never need this, so I never turn it on. If you need to be invisible to people around you, you can do that. And you know what this means. So these are the advanced settings that you can do. And then there's app settings. This does not really matter. It's just what color mode you want, what and all other stuff. Updates will come on. You don't need to mess with this thing. Just if you need to change any settings, just go into VPN settings, and that should be all right. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to show you, which you might need, you may need, you might not need, it doesn't matter, but I'll just show you since I'm giving you an advanced tutorial on what are the options available. This is an alternate ID. This is a pretty new thing. So let's say you want to create some fake accounts and you don't want to give out your ID, your information. So what happens is you can just add another persona. You can add name. You can create a different name. You can create a different. Everything's different. Like here, everything is there. You have a different email. You'll have an alternate email. You can set up an alternate email, and using that email, you can create Facebook IDs. You can create whatever you want to do. It's up to you. So if this is something that you want me to show you in detail, I can show you. I do have a setup, like a fake ID setup, but to be honest, I've never used it. I've never used it. I don't need it, but if you need it for some reason, you can do that. So yeah, that concludes the whole tutorial on the basics. And see, when I have the rolling IP turned off, it doesn't change. It just stays to one. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. If there's anything more you need to know, just hit me, and I'll be more than happy to show you around other things. There are a lot of other things that you can do, like static IP, multi-hop, dedicated, but these are things that you don't really, on a day-to-day basis. You don't need to mess with these multi-hop and all that. Multi-hop is basically similar to rotating IP. It's just that it even changes the state, including the IP. So it changes the place and the IP. So yeah, I don't want to make it too long. So if there's anything specific other than this, then yeah, hit me up. Thanks. You have a good day. Bye bye.